Audrey Roloff continues to be hated by Little People Big World fans, but why? Audrey Roloff hasn't appeared on Little People Big World for years, but still continues to be a hot topic for fans of the show. TLC's Little People Big World premiered in 2006, introducing audiences to the Roloff family, led by Matt and Amy, and their 4 children, Jeremy, Zach, Molly, and Jacob. Matt and Amy, as well as Jeremy, are all dwarves. Now, in its 25th season, the show has given fans a look at how a family with dwarfism lives day dash to dash day dot. Jeremy, who is Zach's twin, married Audrey Roloff, née Audrey Mirabella Botti, back in 2014. The couple welcomed daughter Ember in September 2017, son Bode in January 2020, and son Radley in November 2021. They are expecting their 4th child in the spring of 2024. Ultimately, in 2019, Jeremy and Audrey stopped appearing on the show, yet there is still so much commotion surrounding Audrey. In the Little People Big World subreddit, many folks have some choice words about her. Why do people dislike Audrey so much? If you take a gander at the Little People Big World subreddit, you'll notice that there isn't a lot of conversation about the show, but there is a lot of talk about one of its alums, namely Audrey Roloff. In a thread discussing Audrey, users weighed in with why they don't like her, and it's not just one specific reason, but many. Her life is privileged, but she doesn't really acknowledge that at all. She acts like she is a self-made success story when it was from marrying Jer, who was on a TV show. She doesn't actually know real struggle or hardship. Everything is perfect in her world, wrote one LPBW fan. Several others remarked that the disdain stemmed more so from what she posts on social media as to her appearances in the show. Audrey has previously shared anti-vax posts, as well as posts that reject traditional medicine and ones that preach the benefits of essential oils and drinking raw milk. Additionally, in 2019, she and Jeremy faced criticism for advocating blanket training, a tactic they used with their daughter Ember. This method, derived from the controversial teachings of Pastor Michael Pearl and Debbie Pearl in their book To Train Up a Child Training for the 21st Century, involves placing a child on a blanket for set periods. Should the baby try to move off the blanket, parents are to strike them lightly with a ruler or something flexible and place them back on it. It is meant to teach babies boundaries, discipline, and solo playtime. Other comments in the thread about Audrey include, "She's a pick-me girl who says she hates pop culture, but she's only famous because of pop culture, and a braggart and a liar." To sum it all up, many people think Audrey is full of herself and isn't using her platform for good. During a conda on her Instagram story in May 2023, Audrey was asked to explain why she and Jeremy chose to depart Little People Big World. Per the Ashley's Reality Roundup, she cited many reasons, including that Jeremy was just ready to move on from this chapter of his life, and that they didn't want to raise their kids in front of the camera. Audrey also slammed the show for its crazy and very controlling contracts, fabricated storylines, and pressure to perform. TV contracts are crazy and very controlling, she continued. Same with filming schedules. We also didn't like the storylines being portrayed that weren't actually true. Ultimately, reality TV is all about the drama, and we didn't like the pressure to create or speak to the drama or perform for the cameras. Audrey disclosed that this is why she enjoys sharing her life and opinions online, because she is able to control what becomes public and how it is portrayed to fans. Audrey Roloff makes an impressive living outside of Little People Big World. There's something about big reality TV families that people cling on to and won't let go of, even long after some cast members have left the show. Because even though Jeremy and Audrey Roloff are no longer on Little People Big World, fans are still heavily invested in their lives outside of the show. That's mostly because they have made a living on their own on social media, and thanks to their established fan base. With the success they have seen while being off reality TV, you can't help but wonder how much Audrey's net worth is. Unlike Jeremy, she wasn't on reality TV for years before stepping back from the camera and focusing on other projects. But as his girlfriend, she got her first taste of the TLC limelight years before they were married. Now, they are both no longer part of the series and have focused their attention on their own growing family and other business ventures. Audrey Roloff's net worth proves she doesn't need reality TV anymore. In 2018, Jeremy announced to the world via social media that he and Audrey would be leaving Little People Big World. At the time, he wrote that they had a lot of exciting things in the pipeline and were eager to continue the work to which the Lord has called them to. Since then, they have written books together, worked on a podcast as a couple, and shared their tips and tricks for a healthy marriage with Audrey's 1.3 million Instagram followers. Because of their work following their time on the show, Jeremy has an estimated net worth of $300,000. Unfortunately, Audrey's individual net worth isn't public knowledge, but given that she has shared in most of Jeremy's business ventures during and after reality TV, it's more than likely that hers is comparable. These days, Audrey's income comes from the multiple self-help books that she and Jeremy have written together, making them best-selling authors. One such book is A Love Letter Life: Pursue Creatively, Date Intentionally, Love Faithfully, and in 2021, Audrey and Jeremy are set to release another book, Creative Love: 10 Ways to Build a Fun and Lasting Love. Audrey also runs a lifestyle blog and the clothing line Always More. And when Audrey isn't busy working on those, she and Jeremy are working on their shared blog, Behind the Scenes. There's not much Audrey hasn't tried in terms of sharing her values and opinions with her many followers and fans, and if they stay off Little People Big World, she's likely going to continue to hone her brand. Although Audrey has plenty of fans who consider her a role model as a wife, mother, and all-around trendy former reality TV personality, she has her fair share of critics. In 2019, she and Jeremy came under fire for sharing their blanket training tactic they practice with their daughter Ember. The method stems from controversial pastor Michael Pearl and his wife Debbie's book To Train Up a Child Training for the 21st Century. The book instructs parents to place their child on a blanket for a few minutes at a time, and when the baby moves off the blanket, they are to strike them lightly with a ruler or something flexible and place them back on the blanket. It is meant to teach babies boundaries, discipline, and solo playtime. When Audrey explained on Instagram hers and Jeremy's method of simply placing Ember back on the blanket, she didn't explain if it's exactly the same as the Pearls method, which the Duggar family also utilizes. But it brought plenty of criticism for a couple who seemed to try and remain as likable as possible. And even though it wasn't a good moment for them, Audrey has continued to revel in her post-reality TV fame.